Just recently, James Gunn, the head of DC Studios, or co-head, was asked about the statements he made when he took the job about everything being in continuity. And he clarified that and walked back one of those claims. So let's talk about why this is important. So if you guys remember, when James Gunn and Peter Safran were announced to be heads of DC Studios and building a new universe, they said everything going forward would matter. There would be comic books, there would be graphic novels, there would be animated films, there'd be animated TV series, and video games, and all of them are set in the same universe, and all of them are building up a story that's contributing to Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. Automatically, everybody said, wow, that's a whole lot to take on, especially when you consider something like video games, which are in production for about 3.5 to 4 years, and you gotta make sure that the story's nailed down before you even start. Animation though, yeah, that can work because that's being produced alongside live action. Well, James Gunn was recently asked about the upcoming Wonder Woman game and the DC initiative in video games and how important they're gonna be, and he decided to walk it back by saying, video games don't necessarily need to fall into this, so future video games may or may not be a part of this. They don't want to commit to anything that might be too big, or they might not be able to pull it off. Now, this is something I've been saying since the beginning. How is it that you're trying to beat the MCU by saying, hey, we're going to give you everything you want, trust us, this is going to be great? And the one complaint people have is, I don't want to have to watch all this stuff to understand Avengers Secret Wars. So your idea is to make the Wonder Woman game a Wonder Woman origin story that takes place after Paradise Lost, and then when Wonder Woman shows up, you expect people to have played a 60-hour video game so they know what's going on in Justice League? Like, you guys see what I'm saying? That's so much more hardcore than the MCU. You will lose everybody the moment you say that that's what you're doing. So them walking it back is not a surprise. That's a undertaking that I never for once believed was going to happen. Maybe they can get smaller video games out, things that work, but imagine when they produce a Superman video game eventually. Are you going to really tell me that that's part of the continuity and people have to play it? How many people played The Amazing Spider-Man 1 when that was supposed to be a sequel, or The Amazing Spider-Man 1 game that was supposed to be a sequel to the film, just because they lied about continuity? Imagine if all of that did matter, and suddenly TASM 2 opens up, you're like, yeah, remember those giant spider slayers that destroyed half of New York because they were giant worms hunting Spider-Man? We gotta address for that. That's never gonna happen. Come on.